I'm genuinely so confused right now. I wasn't even paying attention to what she said, I'm gonna be honest. Not quite. There's a shell. Again. Yoink. Oh, it's a gastropod. Gotta leave. Okay. Okay. I don't know why she started talking to me then.
Hold it.
Oh, okay. Obviously.
I said hold it. Over here.
Okay. Well,
How can you just ignore an old woman in need? Oh, I weep
well,
for this
NieR's
generation.
flawless. Sure seems like. Yeah, this game is you know, it has like a lot of things I have really liked about it thus far, and there's a lot of things where it's like, it definitely shows its age. I mean, it's not like 2010 is even that old of a game, to be fair, but even then there are, you know, there is a decent bit of differences compared to like a game design from the ground up like nowadays in terms of, you know, how they handle things like this, you know, so it definitely, you know, speaks to the era that it was made sometimes,
The
you know.
children of this age are nothing but selfish, heartless cads.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, ignore her. We've a quest to complete. People like that are best left to their own devices.
The pain!
What's wrong? Is everything okay?
My illness has returned.
Suddenly in the last 10 seconds.
Shock of seeing this rude, floating book.
What?
Rude. Book. Now, see here, madam. I'll have you know.
You did this. Oh,
but
what
yeah.
a terrible thing you are.
But yeah, NieR's always been a flawed game, but in your opinion, its flaws don't outweigh all the incredible aspects. But yeah, that's what I've heard about it, and I am definitely really excited to see like the adventure that this game
Why,
holds.
you insolent crone. How dare you address me like some common paperback?
It's a common paperback as opposed to a hardcover.
Vice, knock it off.
You there. Would you truly abandon a pitiful old woman to this
Okay,
cruel
this
world?
mustache is giving me problems.
Are you asking me? Oh, do please ask me.
Accept the old woman's request? Sure, I
How
guess.
can we help you, ma'am?
Oh, good heavens. I can't believe how much cajoling that took.
Our apologies, ma'am.
I am at a loss as to what aid we could possibly give a woman who is so clearly able to talk her way into anything.
I need you to go to the post office and tell them to deliver my mail.
I can't fathom why they haven't been here yet.
Oh, the pain!
Okay, we're going. Look at us go.
Look at us go. But I don't have to do that right now. I can just do it at whatever point. I mean, unless that's what the X is marking, but I doubt it. I wonder how I get, like, the map in each of these areas. Maybe, like, do a certain side quest and then you get the map. Maybe she'll give me a map for doing things. Yeah, it does mark the post office rather than the way out of town. Maybe I'll get a map by then. Oh, this here. Okay. Hello? You buy... Oh, you buy them. Oh, okay, so I should go to a shop and do that then.
Afternoon.
In that case.
Hey, so there's some old lady who yelled at us to come here and check on her mail, and
That's a good thing to know because I wouldn't have thought that otherwise, and I would have gone 3,000 years without maps.
Oh, you mean the
But yeah.
lighthouse lady?
Huh. So the hold on, I read that out in my head, but then when I started trying to read it out loud, my brain just like turned off for a hot second. PS3 360 version of NieR had critic ratings of 68, 67 on Metacritic, but the user scores of the original game are quite close to that of the remake. So it's kind of like a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon situation, where it's like, you know, the head honcho reviewers are like, this game's pretty garbage, pretty crappy, but like the people that actually played it are like, wow, this is incredible.
The very same. Now, could you please deliver her parcels and silence her flapping gums?
Sorry, but I injured my leg. I won't be delivering anything for a while.
Doesn't question the floating book that just talked to him or anything like that.
that's too bad. Maybe we can...
A hurt leg? What about your sacred postman's oath? Neither wind nor sleet nor terrible monsters of the night shall keep thee from...
Hey, if your leg hurts, we'll just deliver it for you.
Oh, that would be a huge help.
My
Just
oh
be
my.
careful, all right? That
I
lady
appreciate
has
the
a
follow
bit
there,
of a temper.
Axe and Kane. If I'm saying that correctly, I apologize if I'm butchering it. Saying the letter for the old woman. Okay, and then select documents from Grimoire Weiss's notes tab to view your letters and memos.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
You know, since you're here,
Oh, what is it now?
To be fair, at the time period, they were reviewing Call of Duty games every other week, so going to a turn-based dungeon crawler, well, it's not turn-based, but, you know, dungeon crawler kind of action game and whatnot. It's right. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I think, I'm convinced that, like, big shot head honcho reviewers will literally rate games based on how close it is to what they expect it to be, rather than how good it is.
you're from
Is what I
Popo's
honestly
village, right?
feel like. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Yeah, how do you know?
But yeah, with the remake, the critic scores closely match the user scores. I guess after it established, like, you know, a lot better of a reputation with NieR Automata and whatnot. And the reviewers, you know, actually were like, wow, this is something that, you know, is clearly gonna be a good thing, instead of, like, the unknown gem that the original was. Then, man, sometimes I really hate big reviewers, honestly.
Huh?
Just
Well,
low-key.
you're dressed differently and you just have a certain air about you, I guess. Anyway, would you mind taking this letter to Popola when you go back?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it's turn-based. You move, then the enemies move, then you move again. Just not traditionally turn-based. I don't know if I'd call this
We
turn-based.
might as well take the postman's oath ourselves.
Okay. Also, I can see the resolution getting a little bit wonky as it prioritizes the frame rate. I see it like taking some dips here. What the heck? I think the original version, gameplay-wise, is very flawed in a traditional understanding. Personally, I think the gameplay of the original version matches the tone of the game extremely well. But being fair to the reviewers, you understand that kind of opinion. But there's also the fact that, like, reviewers, you know, prioritize, like, gameplay first and foremost, in aspects like story and music, like, maybe not as much. I think I see here, right? Maybe? I don't know why I moved this one back. There we go. Something like that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 8. Hey, look, we added a new hat. 90%, 9 out of 10. Incredible game. I've never played a Call of Duty game before myself, but it sounds like something a big reviewer they were doing. I just stole from this guy. That's what I did there. Modern Call, we added a new hat. Oops, we programmed it wrong. So wait, the hat is 3 inches further to the left than it should be. Sorry. Yeah, COD, Battlefield, and Pokemon are all those kinds of games that, you know, put out a new thing every year. 2 in 1 year now in the case of Pokemon. Just get it out in whatever state it's in. Seems like Boot-a-bop. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess we're delivering thingamabobs now. I guess is what's going on. Alright, so the old lady over here wanted her, her mail, I guess. Not a big fan of gaming journalists either, but I think a lot of the hate for them is too much, and a lot of the criticisms aren't fair. Like, the criticism that people have of the critics, or the criticisms that the,
I don't hear
critics
the
have.
crone, and I'm sure I would if she were here.
They call her the lighthouse lady, right?
So we're going to the lighthouse.
Well, let's go check the lighthouse.
21 houses would glitch on the field? What? Why would you even need houses in that game?
What an absurd
I mean, houses would
waste
glitch
of
on the
time
field.
this is.
Yeah, Blizzard did that with the release of Warcraft 3 Reforged. Critics review at 50 to 60, and the user award. The user score on Metacritic is a crisp 0.6. Jeez. Yeah, Christmas gamers have about the journalists. I haven't tuned into like any big game journalists in like forever. This is the thing. I think the most recent like big game journalist like review that I really tuned into was the IGN review of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition with Rain and Duncan and whatnot. So this away. Oh my goodness, this is weird. This is weird. Oh, I don't like the textures on the inside of this doorway. Anyway, the one bad looking texture around here with a bunch of actual fine looking textures. Hi.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
What do you want?
I mean, what do I want?
Retrieved your letter.
The postman hurt his leg. That's why he...
That's no excuse. It's his job to deliver the mail, no matter what. Didn't he take the postman's oath?
The thought that anyone would actually bother to write you a letter staggers the imagination.
Such a rude book. I'll have you know this is from someone very dear to me.
It sounds certainly like Activision Blizzard has a it's a very
Well, I
infamous
suppose you should give me
reputation there.
something
Then
for your trouble.
okay. Well, there's that. Can I just like jump off this? Looking at a game and whether you should buy a game or not, watch 6 or 7 YouTube reviews from small time people. Yeah, I feel like that's a better way to go. Like the smaller time kind of critics that actually took the time to like really play it, rather than like the the big time critics where it's like, did we get paid enough for the review? No? Well, I guess it's not very good then, is it? Guess it's just not a very good video game in that case. Alright, I wish I could run a little bit faster through these, but well. Not that big a deal. Okay.
We need to get the shaman fish to Yona.
Yeah, nice ventriloquism, by the way. Wait. Can I... Whoa, my goodness gracious. Superhero landing. Excuse me, good sir. Oh, can I really not? Ah. You just play anything that looks interesting to you or someone recommends to you. Yeah, that's kind of the way that it was for me before I became like a content creator. After I became a content creator, like, you know, I don't often take game suggestions, but if I am intrigued by something and people are suggesting it, then I get around to playing something that I never would have played otherwise. Like this, like what we're doing right now. Like I've heard a lot of good things about it around the channel, and you know, a perfect opportunity came up to play it, so that's why we're here doing this now. Is the case. Buy lots of random games just because they're cheap. Bought Qbert for Windows 95 just because. Just for the sake of it. Boobity bop. Can't even play it, but it was just such a good deal that just had to go for it. My oh my. Pew. Take that, random rock. And that right there as well, random rock. What sounds am I hearing to my left? I looked to the left earlier and I thought I was just losing my mind, but I heard it a second time, so I swear I'm not losing my mind, right? I'm so confused. Sounded like there was something happening in my left ear there. Should I have bought maps while I was there? I'm just now realizing I probably should have. Whoops. But yeah, I spent $10 on a PS1 game you can't play because it's a PAL release. Not the whatever the heck that is release. Thing we're up there. Oh, there's a big dude. Oh, freaking health bar appeared. That's not good. Can't lock onto you from here. Instead of disc long enough, you could probably play it. You can imagine yourself playing it. Can I lock onto you? You have a health bar. Ah! You're like a dudo from the beginning prequel thingamabob. To fair some professional critics, although they undervalue some great games, I think Pokemon Gale of Darkness, don't think that they utterly review bomb games as much as user scores do. It may depend on the case there. Is Mario Strikers Battle League a true failure of a game, or are the failing user scores entirely about disappointing expectations of the game rather than the game's objective value? Yeah, it's a pretty solid like multiplayer game and whatnot, but it just doesn't have like a whole lot of content to it. Like even the other Mario sports games on the Switch, like a tennis and a golf, there had like a single player campaign, whereas you know that didn't. Look, this is the strat here. You're gonna die, but like I can just do this. I can just be like an epic high-level gamer. Wow. I just sit here doing this for 3,000 years as it has like a bazillion health in hard mode. So, you know. So, you know. Diablo Immortal's been called Diablo Immoral by fans because it can cost upwards of thousands of dollars to get items you need from the loot box in order to beat the game. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm really glad to not be hooked into any of those kinds of video games, any pay to win kind of thingamabobs. Yeah, that kind of thing definitely deserves review bombing, I'd say. I'm just gonna casually jog around and pew pew you. Is what's gonna happen here. I think the only video games I've ever played that are like so terrible that they deserve review bombing, in my opinion, would probably be like the modern Atari Roller Coaster Tycoon games. Just like all of them, especially the one on the Switch, the one that was literally a scam, you know, with Atari being like, oh yes, fund our game, and we're totally gonna make it with the funds you give us, and even though the fine print is like, yeah, we're gonna do like anything but make the game with the funds you gave us to fund our game. You know, that whole situation there. Is there anything else? Maybe Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, honestly. Would there be anything else, though, that I played that was just so utterly bad? I don't know that there is. But yeah, this guy will take forever to beat at this point in the game. But just imagine the rewards. Like, if he's not meant to be beaten at this point in the game. I'm sure I don't have to fight him. But imagine the rewards for, like, successfully doing it, you know? I wonder if there are any other games I've played that I've just, like, utterly despised. Warcraft 3 Reforged did too, because they just released Warcraft 3 again, but worse in every way, including constant game crashes, unstable frame rate, laggy menus, running on Chrome, features missing from the original game, and worst of all, they force updated installations of the original game on Reforged. Jeez. Nice, you missed. Gran Turismo 7 also deserves the review bombing, even though its core gameplay is allegedly great. Microtransactions there are also scummy. The always online feature of the game also makes a mockery of the value of the game discs. Also, think about like online and stuff like that. I guess it's not technically a game, but you know, Nintendo's online service and their, you know, N64 and Genesis expansion pass. That can be another example, I guess. Or probably a set of crayons or something, I swear. I swears. But yeah, have there been other games on the channel that I've played that I've actually, like, straight up despised? There have been games that I really didn't like, but, like, I get why people like them. Is a thing that just weren't my cup of tea. There have been several games like that, at least. If I went when Gran Turismo 7 first launched, and it's in its first week, the servers were down for 3 to 4 days. Wow. Also, thinking about other things with, like, servers. Not the game itself. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 hasn't released yet at the time of streaming this. But if it was possible to, like, review Nintendo's site where they were having, like, the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition pre-orders, freaking review bomb Nintendo's site. Because my goodness, the way that they handled the pre-orders for the Special Edition. Like, I got so lucky. I did manage to actually pre-order one of the Special Editions. Like, barely. I had to try so hard for it. But I did get a pre-order. I did get a pre-order down for one of their special editions. So that's pretty cool. But my goodness, it's like you need to give an arm and a leg for that kind of thing. Played Forza Horizon 5 a while back, deleted it 3 days later because because it required you to map 20 buttons to your 8-button steering wheel. Wow. It's a whole lot there. What's FH4? It's pretty good on Forza Horizon. Oh. So the damage that I received there is straight up getting one shot, huh? So that's what's going on here. It would seem. Huh, you missed. Huh, good to know. I'll give it one more go. One more. But yeah, what, you don't think that it's scummy in any way? Charging exorbitant prices for a subscription service to games that are twice the age of half of Nintendo's player base? Is the thing. And refusing to offer them in any other way where you can truly own them. Forcing you to keep on paying. Like, if you just want to play one specific N64 game, let's say you only want to play Ocarina of Time, that's it. You have to pay for the whole bundle. Like, it's the whole reason why people started hating, like, the whole thing about with TV, of having to, like, you know, pay some ludicrous price for, like, a bundle of channels when you don't even watch all of them. Why people started resorting to, like, you know, services that let you pay for individual TV channels, or just using streaming services like Netflix, for example, where it's like they just have access to like an insane library that they can stream at whatever time, instead of paying like exorbitant premium prices for a bundle of channels because they only want to watch like one or two. That's literally what the N64 expansion pass is. You want to play like one or two specific N64 games? Doesn't matter, you gotta pay for all of them. And even then, you don't own them. If ever you want to play it in the future, you gotta keep on paying because it's a subscription service, you don't own it. Can this book be on the other side, maybe? Might be a little bit easier to see. And I think that that is incredibly scummy. You know? Incredibly scummy there. And I would never, never advise anybody to invest in a Nintendo's expansion pass there. Definitely not. Topic of awful games we hate. What about The Walking Dead Survival Instinct on PlayStation 3? I've heard about it. I know nothing about it. And it's just bad. It's not so bad. It's just terrible. It's one of those kinds of video games. Nice miss, nerd. Nice miss there. But yeah, so with that kind of thing, Nintendo's literally doing the thing that got the TV industry to change as much as it has. And like, you know, have its competitors rise so much. But since Nintendo can just, you know, since they have a monopoly on their own games, evidently since it's their own games, they can just choose to only make it available in like these very specific ways. That even though it's literally the thing that, you know, kind of drastically changed the TV industry, they can just get away with it because they, you know, they own the console, they own those games and whatnot. So they can just get away with, you know, incredibly scummy practices like that. And it disgusts me. And it makes me ashamed to call myself a Nintendo fan sometimes. Nowadays, I don't even want to call myself a Nintendo fan. Nowadays, I just want to call myself like a guy that plays some Nintendo games sometimes, because sometimes they make some good games. And then they think there's that. Even base Nintendo Switch Online is no bueno, just because they put on the NES and SNES games for no other reason than to inflate the price to their online that doesn't even work all that well, is the thing. Like, it's literally just put on there to increase the value when they know that not everyone's gonna use it. Out of all the consumers that use Nintendo Switch Online, there's like, I don't know, maybe 10, if I had to guess, like maybe 10% of the people that actually use like the NES and SNES Online. That's probably being generous there, that random guesstimate, honestly. That's probably even just being generous. Doesn't change the fact that everybody has to pay for like all the things that are offered in Nintendo Switch Online, which includes the NES and SNES games. So they literally just use it as a means to increase the value. And that's the whole thing, that's the whole situation with the expansion pass as well, where they put on things like DLCs for various different games for no other reason to increase the value of it, for such a niche small thing that like barely any of the people investing in the bundle are even gonna use, you know, is the thing. Just make the only way to access certain things be including it in a bundle. So even if anybody only wants one specific thing of Nintendo Switch Online or of the expansion pass, they gotta pay for like the whole bundle because they've included so many things. Like, look at all this value. Whoa, all this value that you're probably not even gonna use, but you gotta pay for it anyway. Whoa, it's so valuable. That's Nintendo. That's modern Nintendo right there. So, you know, there's that. Something I've done short video essays on before and whatnot. Yeah, I know that it, you know, it's a lot of people compare the prices and are like it's better than like Sony / Microsoft, but you know, it didn't used to be a thing at all, like charging for online. Then I think it was Microsoft that started doing it, and Microsoft was like, you know, getting bullied for doing that, but then they just kept doing it for so long that gamers started accepting it as the norm, and then everyone else started copying them because, you know, it's just like the norm now, essentially. That's the thing about like the industry, like the gaming industry and a lot of industries in general. If you just keep doing something for long enough, then it becomes the norm, and all the other, you know, all the other sellers at like of whatever market start doing it as well, then people eventually just accept it, and it's what lets you get away with like scummy things. In one of my video essays on Nintendo Switch Online, I talked about how Nintendo just keeps on making things like worse and worse very gradually, so that people just, you know, it gives them time to accept that this is the new norm, and then they announce the new shitty thing, and then give it enough time so it becomes the new norm, and people have just accepted it, and then announce the next new shitty thing, and then people are mad, but time passes and it becomes the new norm, and then they announce the next shitty thing, stuff like that. And eventually that's how you find various industries and prices and whatnot getting worse and worse. So, you know, yeah, they absolutely do not. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth between chat and like this here just to make sure that I don't get hit by one of these, by like some stray shot. We use the word appalling to imagine paying an extra 45 CAD every year for life in order to perpetually access N64 games. What happened to the short-lived Nintendo that offered classics through retro mini consoles? I just preferred like the virtual console. Is the thing, Bob. The virtual console is absolutely the way to go, in my opinion. Just make these old games accessible in a meaningful way where you can own them, instead of charging like subscription service bundles, you know, is the thing. That's the way that I see it. Refer to Microsoft, the original Xbox, and be a dedicated service in order to play online, which costs money to maintain, hence the subscription. Don't know how many Nintendo games actually need ongoing servers in order to maintain online play. Yeah, I don't know there, and that is a good point there for that there. I wasn't, you know, I've never really done like a whole lot of online Xbox gaming. I know when the first Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare game came out, I was pretty hyped for that, and I have it on my shelf back there. I picked it up on the Xbox 360 because it was going to take a while before it came to PC. So I remember I had to pay, like, very briefly for the Xbox Online subscription, just for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare when it first came out and whatnot. I think Nintendo's behind both... Oh my goodness gracious, that was close. I rolled right into that. Behind both Sony and especially Microsoft. I've heard good things about, like, the things available on Game Pass and whatnot. I've heard about that. Microsoft spent more money than Sony's value on Bethesda. My oh my. Like, I don't like things being added to, like, a subscription service as the only way to play them. That's literally the only way that you can do it. But something like Xbox's Game Pass, where it's like, it's there, but you can also, like, you know, buy it if you want to actually own it. It's like, hey, you know, you can buy it if you want to own it. It's not like this is the only way to play it. It's just there if you have, like, the subscription service anyway. It's like, okay, that's a good way to add value. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with, like, Nintendo's online service if it was actually possible to buy and own their classic games. But because it's not, and the subscription service is the only way to just, like, essentially rent the games from Nintendo, it just feels really crummy and feels like there's no winning there, you know? Is what it kind of feels like. It leaves consumers like me feeling, like, really crappy about it, you know? Is the way that it feels. That's the way that I feel about that, at least. Nice miss, nerd. Nice miss. So I wonder at, like, what point you're meant to come back and fight this guy. I don't even know what my current level is. I haven't checked in, like, forever. Haven't checked in, like, forever. Nice miss. Is this really worth going for? Watch, like, right towards the end, I'm gonna get hit by, like, some stray attack and then get real mad. Just you wait. Just you wait. That's totally what's gonna happen. Probably. Would it be worth, like, switching it out of hard mode just for this? I won't do that. I won't do that. That's maybe not. Microsoft could afford to buy out Nintendo outright in strict monetary terms instead of sense of pride in Japanese law to ensure it will not be bought out anytime soon. Would Microsoft even be, you know, interested in doing something like that if they could? I feel like a lot of gamers would be pretty against that in terms of, like, you know, one company having, like, so much control over the industry. Because then it'd be like, you know, the big giants in the gaming industry are Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. If, you know, two of those suddenly became one, it's like, well, I guess that's the one on top now, you know? Is the thing. Well, it's free on PC, and that's how you think it's reasonable to be everywhere. Don't really think there's any excuse that's reasonable. And that's why I kind of like playing on PC and whatnot and stuff. People sometimes ask me as a gamer, like, if I play on a Xbox or PlayStation. I'm just like, you know, I'm the weirdo that has, like, my Nintendo console, and everything that I can't play on my Nintendo consoles, I'll play on PC for the most part. It's kind of the thing, like, that's what I'm playing on right now. It's the case. PC and Nintendo Switch on my current consoles, though we do sometimes play things with, like, classic Nintendo consoles. Is the thing. Like, maybe in the near future we'll start that Fire Emblem Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic playthrough after the current playthrough of Three Hopes is done with. Maybe. But yeah, that's you but reverse. PC first, Nintendo second, but still a similar kind of idea. PC and Nintendo. That's the way to go right there. And I feel like so crummy supporting Nintendo nowadays with, like, the way that they are as a modern company. It really feels like after a lot of past that, you know, a lot of things changed. My goodness, the render distance on those things goes far. My oh my. But yeah, it really does feel like the company changed a whole lot since then. All these companies make enough money and online games are the most profitable, so we really aren't scrambling for money here. Well, online games, if there's some way to, like, continue making money off of them, like in-game purchases or something like that, you know, is the case. I mean, online games are also going to have, like, a lot of sales, I guess, in terms of, you know, people scrambling to play, like, the multiplayer games, like Friendos and whatnot. To the point that I know that a lot of people have talked in recent years about, like, are single-player games dead? Is there not as much of a push for single-player games now that, like, online and multiplayer games are such a big thing? But then there's titles like freaking, you know, Elden Ring that show that there is still, like, a big demand for single-player games and whatnot. But, when it comes to older systems, you will do consoles, as it's just easier, to get old games with the Sega, for a Sega Genesis or PlayStation 2, the MTOS Windows XP. There's always emulation when it's that old, but I guess if you want to collect them. And I know, I know that you're a bit of a classic game collector there. But yeah. STG, is that supposed to be, I swear, or something of Splatoon 3 as in-game purchases? You won't be upset. I understand the feel there. Not from me being big into Splatoon, but from, you know, other online and multiplayer games and stuff. You know. I understand the feel there. Yeah, the challenge here is just survive. We're over halfway there. Online free everywhere has never really been reasonable as long as older consoles get phased out. Developers can't be expected to support servers for a 20-year-old game. Yeah, if it reaches a certain age, for sure, but the servers are barely used and do not generate income. But with PC gaming, the game can be purchased by new people indefinitely. So PC gaming is a different matter. PC gaming is an interesting space and whatnot. Also, when it comes to like old video games that continue to get supported, there's things like Team Fortress 2 that are still relatively popular to this day, despite dealing with like botting issues here and there. And I know that there was like a whole save TF2 movement. But think about online games like that. Something that I always think about is like, how the heck has Valve not made like a freaking Team Fortress 3, a Half-Life 3, something like that? It's like ever since Valve, you know, had Steam take off with the whole situation with like the Left 4 Dead exclusivity that they did on it. Ever since Steam became the go-to place for PC gaming, they were like, wow, we don't have to make video games anymore now that we can just take money from everybody else making video games. And they still continue to have like the servers for things like TF2 as those continue to be popular because like, may as well just keep the servers up if it's continuing to be popular. But not bother to make any new video games. Because why bother when we're just, you know, making easy bank off of everybody else's video games, you know? That's the thing. Like me buying NieR Replicant here, 30% of that went to Valve for no other reason than it being on their platform. It's pretty silly, you know? But yeah, the difference for PC is that PC gamers can just create their own servers. Yeah, potentially. Potentially, if there's, you know, enough demand for it and you're in like the right communities for that kind of thing, Bob. My mustache, if you make us pay for official servers, the community will make their own servers. Potentially. Did with Warcraft 3, they broke online original Warcraft 3 and made the launcher auto update to Reforge, found bypass and made your own servers, huh? I did not know that about that. Okay, just gotta be careful here. It's really not hard dodging these. It's just the fact that you need to not get hit a single time over the course of like several minutes. So watch, I'm gonna get hit by something silly at like the end. Just you wait. Just you wait here. Yeah, as long as I'm spinning around, don't really need to worry about that attack. Part what makes PC gaming so special. The modding communities. I do like me some PC gaming. I do like it. I wonder how many mods are out there for NieR Replicant. Of curiosity. I don't think I'd use any of them. I used some graphic changing mods in our Dark Souls playthroughs. And I think I put like my own custom text in there. I found out how to use like people's injectors that let you inject like custom text, and then I made like my own custom text and injected it into the games, and it was super funny. You gotta love the freaking, was it Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 where I had you know, the death screen of you died replaced with thanks Obama. I think that was Dark Souls 2 because I think I used like pre-made ones at that point. I just found like the thanks Obama one online. And I think Dark Souls 3 was where I started making my own custom ones. Was the thing. Sometimes you wish Nintendo's games were on PC, but then you play Splatoon and realize that it's the only shooter you can play that isn't raided by hackers. You're glad that they aren't. There's that plus side at least, but the single player games perhaps. But they really like their you know, their console exclusivity and whatnot. Best thing about PC gaming is the modding community. The worst thing about PC is the modding community. Sounds about right. Sounds about right there. Man, imagine getting pelted by tiny little BBs for no end for like 5 or 6 minutes straight, and that's how you die. Imagine. Imagine for a hot ticker. How sad that'd be. Imagine how sad it'd be if I get hit by one of these stray hits. This is gonna be my last attempt because, you know, this takes a decent while. So if I fail this, I'm not attempting it again. Unless I felt like doing it off camera. But it's not gonna come to that, right? Because I'm gonna do it successfully. It's not gonna come to that. It'll be a-okay. This whole time it's been flipping through pages. Never running out. It's the book's bigger on the inside, I guess. A lot of things to read through there. Whoops, I released the button by accident. Because that's what happens when you hold the button for like so long. My goodness, we're getting there. Truly the NieR Replicant of bullet sponges. So much health. Oh my goodness, however am I gonna dodge it? It's a pretty crazy attack though. I should totally just get in there and start meleeing right now. That's totally the play, right? Totally. Nice miss. Man, this guy's gotta be getting so frustrated right now. My oh my. I do, but I don't think I can use it like forever. Can I use it like just at the end? Nah, it fails there. I have to let it charge up a little bit to do that. Get to the other side of me, book. That way it's a little bit easier to see. I need my visibility. So yeah, I do have it, but like, you know, I'm getting an email from like the Fragapalooza team. There's a thing in regards to upcoming Smash tournament. I'll have to read that after the stream's over. I'm busy holding a button against the boss right now. Is the thing. Funniest part of that is that in the boss fight against the two statues, they literally told you this guy's good at melee combat. You should back him and fight from a distance. They already taught you how to break their own game. Yeah, I guess so. So holding RB is how to win at NieR Replicant, huh? That's the way to do it. That's how you win this video game, I guess. Guess that's how you do it. Wow, nice miss. Oh, man. I'm sore from, like, sitting here and holding my hands in, like, this, you know, same kind of position for so long now. But we're so close. May as well see it through to the end. May as well, right? This one's gonna be the one that kills me. No, you're doing the big charge up. Like, I'm just anticipating it. Any second now, I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna be so frustrated after being here for so long. Okay, be very careful. Very, very careful here. What's it gonna be, huh? Okay. Be very, very cautious. I'm a bit sketched out. Because I know that he can one-shot me. I know it can happen. Better not. Okay, please just keep on doing like your big multi-beam thing. Is what I would like to see. But yeah. Since we're just chilling, what's my favorite recent project slash playthrough? Peculiar Potions, I would say, with Minecraft stuffs. I'm actually trying to like, you know, there wasn't an upload this last week because this last week was the Assassin's Creed Unity Funny Moments upload and whatnot, since I've been doing like big uploads on Fridays, like editing uploads and whatnot. But like I've been recording a lot of episodes for Peculiar Potions like in advance and whatnot, so the one that's going up at the end of this week is going to be episode 12, I believe, Spikes and Socks. And we just recorded the freaking time-lapse for episode 16 last night. So I'm trying my best to like be on top of weekly uploads for a good while because each of them takes me longer than a week to make. So we'll see how long I can keep up weekly uploads for it. We'll see how long I can keep my streak going. But I've actually been having a lot of fun with it lately. I actually have been having a whole lot of fun with that. I was really surprised with Fire Emblem Warriors at like how much that brought me back into the world of Fodlan after how tired I was of Fire Emblem Three Houses and whatnot. So I'm really glad that that game brought me back into the world of Fodlan in a way that I never thought I could. So there's that. It hasn't even started yet, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is probably going to be like a massive highlight, most likely. Even though it hasn't begun yet. Think about Xenoblade Chronicles, the X playthrough was pretty darn fun. That was a good one. Same with Explorers of Sky for earlier this year, which I keep on thinking about, like, if I should come back to that playthrough at some point for, like, we've done, like, all the story content, so, like, the main playthrough is done. But sometimes I'm tempted to just, like, come back and do some of the post-game dungeons, or, like, try some of the Zero Isles just for, like, shits and giggles. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I will think about it. But yeah, I figure probably not, but do you think you'll put a clip of us finding the hideaway in the video, maybe as bloopers at the end? Probably not in the video, but it is immortalized in, like, the Twitch stream at least, which I do, you know, I always have, like, the Twitch stream collection linked in, like, each of the thingamabobs. Come on, he doesn't, there we go. I didn't even get a level up from that. Did I even get a drop for it? You've got to be kidding me. Give me a drop, please. Did... Well, I didn't think that it would just result in nothing. Maybe I got some experience without realizing it or something. I think I saw an item over here when I was doing loops earlier, right? Well. That sucks. Yeah, it was great fun. We were all in a voice chat trying to lure you to sleep so you come just coming up your stairs. So that's what that all was, and eventually led to go to sleep. My oh my. Wait, do you write me letters? I haven't even canonically left the village for like good yet at this part in the story, though, have I? Wait, what's important from you?
Hey.
Oh, is he my Max around?
Max?
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know a Max.
I forgot this game was voice acted for a sec.
Max is my dog. He's been missing since yesterday.
He sounds like one of the voices I hear from some of the generic NPCs in Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, I see. Any idea
I wouldn't be
where he
surprised if it
went?
was a similar voice actor.
He usually likes to run around the northern plains. Most of the time, he just comes and goes, but I haven't seen him in over a day.
Yes, accept the quest. I'll,
I'll
dog
keep an
astray.
eye
I'm getting
out.
text
If
here.
I find him, I'll make sure to bring him back.
Thank you.
Constipation.
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. Just a little choked up about my dog is all.
All right, if you say so.
From the text that I'm getting here, I may actually have to, like, BRB for a hot second. That is what I may have to, do. The past couple days, I've been home from work, and one of the big reasons for that is because this past weekend, my dad just had a knee surgery. I'm very grateful to my parents for allowing me to stay at home through, like, my university years, so I'm still staying at home and whatnot. And after a knee surgery, he is very crippled and can, you know, barely move around for a good while and whatnot, and is icing down his knees a whole lot and stuff and taking it easy. So I gotta bring him some ice and whatnot is the case. So I'll put, you know, my responsibilities as a kiddo before the freaking video game. So I'm gonna BRB. But I am having fun with this game so far, so I'll be back in like however many minutes it takes me and whatnot. This isn't gonna be like the wrap up of this stream, so enjoy the relaxing music for now. Actually, maybe I should go into like the building where there's like the lyrics to it, and then you can enjoy like that version of the music and whatnot. Yeah, real life always comes first. There, I'm in here now. There, you can listen to this version now. I'll be back in a bit.